Hey, welcome back to Perspective and Process. I'm Allie, and I have to tell you something. I failed. Let's talk about that. So, 3 years ago, I decided that I really wanted fruit trees. And so, my husband and I ordered 3 fruit trees from a really cool website online. What were they? Pear, apple, peach. They were dwarf trees, which meant they would get 5 or 6 foot tall and not much bigger than that, but you would get all kinds of produce and harvest from them, even though they were dwarf size. So it was kind of like a win-win. And I was so excited about these fruit trees. We put them in the ground, but I didn't really understand how much maintenance that growing trees need, which is basically that you need to plant them in a spot where they're getting lots of sun, and you need to water them a lot on a daily basis. We just didn't do that consistently enough. It is now 3 years later. They have barely grown. And what kind of woke me up to the idea that we probably need to call this a failure and start over is the fact that my sister got fruit trees and they are already taller after about 3 months than mine are in 3 years. So that was a bit of a wake-up call. And my husband and I were talking and we said, you know what, it might be time to just call it on these 3 trees, scrap it. Maybe let's start over next year. And so because of that, the area where they're growing, we've kind of let go. And I'm sort of officially giving up. I'm making my natural weed killer mix to kill out the growth. I'm going to prune down the trees. It's going to be sad. And we're calling this a failure. But what I want to talk about today is there is no failure. It's all about how you look at it. So I could call this a failure, but guess what it really is? It's learning. I learned how not to grow fruit trees. If and when we start over next year, I now have that experience under my belt of what not to do. And I know a little bit more now what to do. And so we could get to some successful fruit tree growth from there. 1 second, I need to get my measuring cup. I've heard other people say it this way: there is no failure, only learning. I've also heard people say there is no failure in God's kingdom, only learning. And I love that. And I will say I've grown to love that phrase more over the years, because I'm not going to lie, when I first heard that, I was like, that's a little ridiculous, right? There is failure. Like, this was a failure. But I've really gotten used to that over the years. It's like, yeah, I mean, this is life here on earth. Not everything can be a success the first time you try it. In fact, most things won't be. That's not quite enough. I usually do a cup of salt. Now I got to get more salt. This is part of why I can procrastinate on things like this. It seems like every time I come out here to mix my natural weed killer that I've ran out of certain ingredients. I do try to keep it stocked in the house, because if I'm truly out of something, that means I need to go to the store. Now that's almost too much salt. Oh well, it's going in. My natural weed killer does not contain harmful chemicals. It is 30% vinegar. Now, you might have noticed I was wearing a glove even to just take the seal off, because 30% vinegar, even though it's not a harsh chemical, it's really not something to mess around with. If I touch it, it'll make that first layer of skin peel off my fingers. Then I do a cup of salt, and I do a big squeeze of dish soap, which you can see I'm almost out of that as well. And then this is where not everybody does this. They could actually do a gallon of water. This is a 2-gallon sprayer that I'm using. But I actually just do a gallon of regular distilled white vinegar because I like my weed killer spray to be as potent as possible, but yet it is free of harmful chemicals. And I have cats, so I don't want them to be near a bunch of toxic chemicals. Also, in the past, I did use harsh chemicals, and then I would see birds playing around in the area where I just sprayed, and I just felt bad about that. So I think it's better for really the whole environment. Oh, I'm gonna need a few paper towels now. Okay, so okay. And it is heavy. This strap could actually be a little more heavy duty. Last time I used it, I actually bruised my collarbone a bit. Come on outside with me and we can talk more about failure. Here we go. First, I'm actually going to cut some of this down. You know that it's a fail when you have weeds growing taller than the actual tree. That's the pear. This is the apple tree. That is the pear tree. Or I'm sorry, that one's the peach tree over there. Okay. This really pains me to do it. Oh gosh, it does though. It does pain me to do it. When you have growth below the graft, that means it's not going to bear fruit. And so this right here is a pear bush that essentially will never produce pears. This is causing me emotional pain to do this right now. There's something about here today in this video, I'm facing this. I didn't want to face that. My poor little trees are not going to bear fruit because I just neglected them. I was going to say because of my ignorance, which is maybe true. But see, this is, ow, there's a prickly weed. This is an opportunity to extend grace and compassion to myself as I face this failure, which is super important. Do I feel bad for these trees? Yes. Oh, so sad. So sad. Somehow I don't know, like, I don't even want to chop this one down, even though there's no growth, but it feels like, it just feels so wrong to do this. I'm sorry. Oh, that doesn't even look. You can, if the inside's green, it's alive. That ain't alive. Ah, it hurts. It hurts me. Okay. Let me get this out of the way. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, this one still has leaves on it, you know? It's definitely dead up here. Okay, I can't cope with this yet. I can't completely face this yet with this one because I feel like you never know, right? Yeah, see, that still had some green in it. Okay, I can't bring myself to cut that one down yet. Sometimes you gotta face things a little bit at a time. Okay, let's do this thing. So this is a pressurized electric sprayer. So I gotta turn it on just now and then it's like pressurizing so it can spray out. That's what that sound is. Put it on. It's heavy. Start spraying. Don't want to get it on me. There's a bit of a breeze. I know I mixed 2 full gallons of that, and that's because there's always stuff to weed kill. So after I'm done with this, I will use the rest of it on plenty of other weeds. What's something that you've failed at? Are you like me and there's something that you know is a failure, or should I say learning experience, and you maybe haven't faced that yet. Like how it took me a while to finally face this. And that's okay. Do you need to hear that perspective like I do, that there is no failure, only learning? Kind of have a mindset shift and reframe, you know, this is a learning experience and I can try again next time. The grace of God and compassion and mercy is available to me. And while I'm grieving the loss of these trees, I believe there is a hope and future available to me as a fruit tree gardener. I've sprayed that twice over, and the hot sun will do the rest of the work, getting rid of these weeds. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next video.